Bing, bang, boom. We shot and shot and shot during 30-06 week, and we were not getting good accuracy. But it really surprised me that a high-quality rifle like this Weatherby M307 with this gorgeous walnut stock wasn't shooting better than it was. Well, I just chalked it off to not matching up with the ammunition, started boxing this thing up to send it back, and what do you suppose I found in the shipping box? Some Ahler chronograph targets they sent back that show some outstanding groups. This one is .75 with 150 grain Norma Kalahari bullets. Well, I should have been able to match that. This one was with Barnes TTSX 180 grain bullets, and its group was .49, half-inch group. What is going on? Here's one, .40 with 168 grain Barnes tipped triple shock. The rifle is capable of shooting. Why couldn't I get it to? We're going to find out and go bing, bang, boom again and see if this thing can shoot better. All right, team, we've got things set up here. A new day, a new dawning. It was shooting well with the copper TTSX bullets. I don't have any Barnes ammunition. I've got Winchester's copper impact. This is a 150 grain bullet. Yes, indeed. We'll see how that shoots. Now, first I have to foul the bore and get zeroed and all. I did a little bore sighting here. So we'll try a 50-yard shot, see how close we are with our rough bore sighting. Push feed, I don't have to shove it down into the magazine. 50-yard target. Dial a little correction here with the parallax ring, and here we go. We've got a nice 2-3 holes in that target already. Just up high on the yellow edge, so I've got to go 2 to the right. And to go right 2 at 50 yards, I've got to double my moves. So instead of moving 4 for an inch, I have to move 8. That should give me my correction there. Now I've got to come down 4. All right. Oh, and look at this, guys. 3,015 feet per second. I've got the Garmin. Finally, I picked it up. That's the first shot I've registered with that thing. Oh, works as well as they say. Gosh, 3,015.4 feet per second is the minimum and the maximum and the average. With one shot, that sounds exactly right. Boy, that is easy. Cool. You're going to have fun with that. We're breaking in this new ammo, new rifle, and a Garmin chronograph. That thing is so tiny. It's about half the size of a box of shells. All righty. First fouling shot down the tube. Let's go for number 2. Fouling shot coming up. I might hold a forend down on this, although I don't think I want to. For my group shots. Ladies and gentlemen, we just took out the very center of that little orange bull. Woohoo! I'd say we're zeroed. All right, now we're going to set things up for the 100-yard work. I gotta go out there and move my big camera. But based on that last shot, I'm pretty excited. All right, so far it looks like it's right to use the copper. Could have been a fluke on that dead center bullseye on that 0 stuff, but makes me feel good. All right. Now we're out to 100. Got the big lens recording the target. Adjust my parallax. Make sure I've got it out of there. Nice, no parallax. All right. It's got all the right features in this scope, man. Adjust your parallax, dial, choose your reticle, choose your poison. This thing will handle it. Okay. Here we go, folks. Let's see if we can get a group. All right. Our first hole looks like it's at about 1:32 o'clock. Inch out, maybe 1.125. All right, well, so far the one-shot group is pretty nice. Really nice. Nice, it was right on the bull. That looks like it's maybe a little more than a ½ inch between the two of those. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I think I see it right there. No, did that fly off? Oh, no. I think I got a flyer, boys. 2-3 inches off. About 10 o'clock, unless I'm seeing things. It's right up there at that other little aiming point. 2 inches up and 2 inches to the left. Oh, that's where it is. Yep. The heat shimmer off the barrel is clearing. I can see it more clearly now. Doggone it. I had a great 2-shot group going. What is going on? I'm going to keep shooting. We'll go for a 5-shot group. See if we can call that one a flyer. 3-shot groups, as we've said many times, it's not a great way to determine the accuracy of your rifle. You know, it gives you hope and it shows you some potential, but seriously, you've got to put more rounds down there to look at consistency. All these shots are just feeling really, really good. Yeah, now that one's out too. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3 high and a 1/2 inch. So almost at 12 o'clock, but we're a 1/2 inch to the right. So are we fouling the barrel now and we can really settle down? You know, the first few shots suggested we had something going, but now, what is going on? I'm going to do one more. Oh, that barrel is really hot too. Might want to let that cool, but golly, a rifle like this ought to be able to do 5 shots and stay in a pretty good group that quickly. Not that I ever feel like I need it for hunting purposes, but this is just ridiculous. Especially when I see the targets they set with that thing, 1/2 inch and then sub 1/2 inch with that one ammo. I think that was 168 grain TTSX. Wow. I may have to load up some of my own here. Use TTSX bullets. Maybe that's what it likes. But before I'm done, I'm going to try what we got. I've got some Norma 170 grain tip strike. Tip strike. That I think is a lead core bullet. I'm not showing it on here, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I will research it. It might be an all copper. But do have a copper here with this Sig Sauer stuff. 150 grain copper hunting bullet, 2,920 feet per second. By the way, that last shot was 29.95. My average 29.90. My minimum was 29.57.7. My maximum was 3,015.4 that first shot. So let's see, that was 5 shots, 6, 7 shots now. No, this is recorded 6 shots. I didn't get that first one or something, but 6 shots. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. That's right. That's what I've shot. So the Garmin's working great. The Weatherby still isn't, but we still got our hopes. Come on, man. We'll cool down this barrel and get back to you guys. Hang in there. Well, let's try the Sig Sauer ammo, 150 grain copper bullet, hollow point. Not sure exactly whose bullet that is, but let's see if that one will shoot now that the barrel's a little cool. Got my old holes taped shut. And we have heat shimmer, 29.90. Got that velocity right up there, equaling the Winchester ammo. Let's see if you can better the Winchester's performance on the paper. Very nice, I like that. So let's just give it one more. That was 29.89, consistent for 2 shots. I think I'm seeing a group above center now, so I'm going to run out and look. We might just have something here, guys. Let's go take a look. Oh, baby. This is what we've been looking for. Those 3 shots. That's the kind of performance we were expecting. It's the ammo. I think I'll send 2 more down here. We'll go for a 5-shot group, but boy, if you want your 3-shot group, that's about a 3/4 inch group right there, guys. It's a wheat. All right, guys. Well, now our camera went on the fritz. The rifle starts working, the camera quits. What a life. But we have a phone. So the iPhone is running, and we're going to finish the thing up. I'm going to give it 2 more shots. We're going for a 5-shot group. Barrel's had a bit of time to cool. It's still warm, but it's not smoking hot. Thus far, I'm liking this. Of course, your 3-shot groups like that, you can always have a fluke. But I'm guessing they may have used Barnes ammunition or bullets. They may have used Barnes bullets on this. And that's what that rifle has already proven to like. But whether it's another kind doesn't much matter if it shoots this well. Here we go. Now that time my dot was just on the right edge of the red circle when it broke. So that would have been my furthest right shot. Perhaps 3,014 feet per second on that one. This Garmin doesn't miss anything. I'm loving it. Looks like I'm still up there in that group. That was on there. Well, there it is. Unfortunately, that's the 4-shot group. Ooh, we bumped it up about 1.5 inches. Yeah, about right. But still, 3 shots were definitely under 1 inch, and so were 4. I'm not sure if that was the 4th shot or the 5th. We'll look on the close-up video of the other camera. But I think we found ourselves a problem here. It's just the right ammunition for the right gun. Well, that is how I expected this rifle to shoot, and I'm glad I went back out. It proved, again, that it's not the Maven scope. It wasn't the bench. It wasn't the way I was sitting at the bench. It wasn't the front rest, the back rest. It wasn't the old eyes. It was the ammunition. And that's often how it goes with factory loads. You find the one your rifle likes, and you are rolling. And this Sig Sauer load with a 150 grain copper bullet, to me, looks like an X bullet. That would be the TSX Barnes bullet. It might be their own make, but it's generally the same idea. The bullet's what made the difference. The ammunition made the difference. Now, you'll see the group that I shot, the first 3 shots in a straight line, 0.664 of an inch, less than a 3/4 inch. So that easily matches up with that MOA guarantee that Weatherby has. And when I shot the 4th shot after letting things cool, it went high and opened that group to 1.5 inches, which was not really cool. But that has got to be, again, a flyer, what we always call a flyer. Something about that ammunition, too much powder in it, different primer, something just wasn't quite right. This is why we hand load for really good precision. But I just can't say that I flinched or anything like it. I would have called that shot dead in the group, yet it wasn't. And then right after that, my next shot drops right inside, and I got this cool little clover leaf. I wish they'd have been the first 3 shots. That would have been 1/4 inch. Now, before I shot this rifle, like all of the 30-06s in that test, I cleaned the barrel lightly. This time, I cleaned it heavily. I took it down to bare metal. I used some copper solvent as well as the carbon solvent. So it's really clean now. I've worked extensively with this Maven. Like I said before, we've got 4 of them. They couldn't all be wrong, and they weren't. We have tested and tested, and they are working quite well. We've had good solid mounts. Everything checks out. This is the new action from Weatherby, the first new action in, gosh, got to be the late 70s or early 80s when they brought aboard that Howa action, the 2-lug push feed. And this one is real similar. It's a dual lug push feed action. I think we're pretty much all familiar with that. You look at the face of the bolt and you can see that it's all inset, has a plunger ejector in it, and the extractor hook is like the M16 style here, real long inside of that bolt face. So that's all pretty familiar. They have it fluted, save a little bit of weight, but also it helps if you're getting fouling in there, a bunch of dirt and grime and stuff. You can strip it off and it got a space to go into those grooves. This is a quick takedown bolt, so you can service the firing pin, clean it, lubricate it, and all that. It's really remarkably simple. You just make sure it's in the safe position when you remove it from the rifle, and you will be able to tell that by this little notch right here. This is the holding back the firing pin. Essentially, the striker is going to drive forward, and this is a part of the cocking device here. So you're going to push down, pull the handle out of all things, and then voila, pretty slick. So you can get in, inspect it, clean it. There's your firing pin. Here's the spring. This whole system is the striker. and then you put it back together, it just pops right back in there. Make sure that you've lined it up so this is, again, in that little detent. And then you have to push it back and slide the handle. And it's a little bit tricky to get that handle to line up perfectly for me, but there we go. Just that quick and easy. Nice little feature. So there is on this side where I'm pressing with my thumb the bolt release lever. So rifle runs normally. Want you to take that bolt out to clean. That's the trick. Pretty simple. There are 2 bedding screws, as in most traditional bolt action rifles. One up front, that's under the front receiver, screws into the bottom of the receiver ring, and it goes up through a pillar. And there's a pillar in the rear tang screw as well. And we'll show you those when we take the stock off. Traditional floor plate, hinged, and you can take all your cartridges out just that quickly. Now the safety on this is also going to be familiar to Model 700 Remington shooters, because it is a 2-position safety. When it is back, you cannot pull the trigger, but the handle for the bolt can be opened. That means you can take your round out of battery without fear of it firing. And once you've done that, you can get the rest of them out, springing it open. Proven features and a part of the system. The barrel on this one is 24 inches long. It is fluted, probably a sporter weight on the lighter side, but not too light. It appeared to be a floating barrel when you look at it, but as we found out during 30-06 week when we slid our paper down, there's a bedding point right there. And that's fairly common. It adds a pressure point to the barrel to help stabilize it, settle things down. Sometimes those work beautifully for accuracy, and based on these targets they provided, that is what happened. We're going to see if we can duplicate that before we start changing anything there. So things shoot. Now, the reason this rifle shoots so well, of course, I think we've pretty much gone over. You know, they're building it right. It's got a great bolt and all the rest. It's got the pillar bedding. And this thing is bedded so tightly that I cannot get the barreled action off the stock. I wanted to show you guys the pressure point up front. I called Weatherby and they said, yes, absolutely. We have a pressure point up front. It contributes to the accuracy. We found it works pretty well. Of course, the individual owner can always sand it out and go free float if he wants to. Given what this thing just did, I don't see any need for it. It's got the pillar bedding. So if you're interested in a new Weatherby rifle with a completely new action, but the classic Weatherby stock, this Adventurer, I think they call it the Adventurer, is probably a fun one to play with. This one has really been shooting well, and that's what it's all about. So thanks for watching, and I think 30-06 week, bad though those groups were, I think we've been vindicated with this one. So stay tuned. We'll try to get some more rifles from that shoot here, and from time to time, see if we can't find the right ammunition to make those shoot as well. This is Ron Spomer. Hunt honest and shoot straight.